This is Answer Meditation, and you're tuning in to Sandy Daily.
Natural beauty.
The original 3 C's, the Black Carrie Bradshaw.
Listen.
You want the gossip? You want the information? The news? The real talk?
You sexy
You are now tuning into the Daily Grind with me, Sandy Daly. Let's go, baby. Good morning, good day, good afternoon. And as I always say, it's morning somewhere. And of course, I am so excited to have you here once again on the Daily Grind with Sandy Daly. It's a pleasure to come here. And today, I have a big one for you. You know, we try to bring the big guns here, and we've certainly done that with Miss Sharon Gordon because she's going to be our guest today. Because not only is she known as the media darling, the journalist, just the all around personality, but she's now an author with a huge book that is making the rounds. Every time I go on Facebook, I see Sharon here, so Sharon there. So I want to say, Sharon, how are you managing, right? If you need an assistant, please call me, okay? Because, of course, she has been in the business for such a long time, and we're going to be having a great discussion about her and to her and about her life, her goals, her journey to where she is right now. But of course, I want to make sure and remind you guys that this show is sponsored by the one and only Shandina Organic. This company has become a favorite of mine. Their products are just so on point. Their products are so organic. It is just beautiful skincare, beautiful hair care, everything that you would need just to make sure that you can take care of yourself. As I said, summer is coming. Well, it should be here. It's kind of hesitating here in Canada, but for us, we want to make sure that we look good. I told her that one of her products that she has is called Find Yourself a Man Butter Oil, right? And for me, I'm going to have to try to get some. But, anyways, that's another story. Anyways, so today, as I said, the big guest that we have today is Miss Sharon Gordon. And I have, the utmost of respect for this lady. She's got this amazing book that is out. It's called A Sherry Baby, and it talks about and deals with a young girl in Jamaica, 7 years old. And I read parts of it, and I wanted to talk to her to have an in-depth conversation. So we have her here with us today, and I want to bring her up. So Miss Sharon Gordon, I know you're here somewhere. Please come on stage and talk to me. How are you doing, beautiful darling?
I am good. I'm good, Sandy. Thanks for having me. Greetings to your audience. Greetings, everyone. Good morning,
Thank
good
you.
evening, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You know what I mean? It's like, typical Jamaicans. I pass somebody on the street, I always say good morning. They're like, what? No matter
Yeah,
what it is, right? Have manners. So,
yeah.
Sharon, you are known as the lady in media for quite some time. What does it
Wow.
feel like right now to have such a journey to becoming an author? How does that feel for you? Because as I stated at the top, every time I turn around on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you're doing something, right? How does it feel to be where you are right now?
Mm, what a way to start the show, right? It feels
Right?
good. You started your program playing Barris's I Feel Good, and I feel good.
Right.
I feel real good. It's a good the journey is and has been, many decades of doing what I do and
Right.
having done what I've done. And we all, the kids have a thing to say level up or elevate. What is it? Level up, I think is what they say. But you 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 yourself journey through life. And as you're journeying, you take on different personas depending on what the moment asks for,
Right.
right? You're responding to the moment. And then we have prayers and dreams that get answered as well. And when all of that converge and comes together, then you have what I'm having right now, which is
Right.
a beautiful success. I'm honored to be in your presence on
Oh,
this rate, this
amazing.
television. What is this called now? This kind of internet
Podcast, talk show, everything
podcast.
rolling to
You
talk
know,
show.
I'm honored for that because every opportunity I get to speak to someone and their audience about my work, Sherry Baby, it's a plus for me. And I've been getting that. Shout outs to Terrell Blackett for working real hard. You say you see me everywhere, and I am I have been, I should say, used to be a publicist for many years. I do know a thing or two about being front and center, and with Terrell, as wings. It just helps me to fly, and I'm flying
That
right
that is definitely what you're doing right now because I see you,
now.
as I said, every single place. And when I turn
Mhm.
on my go online, I see you. But reading parts of Sherry Baby,
Mm.
this girl is described as very spunky, very feisty, very. Do you see yourself? Did you put Sharon in this? Is this you? Let's just talk
Well,
about.
let me say this. Let me say this. First of
Yeah,
all, people see the cover of Sherry Baby and think immediately that it's a children's book, and that was done intentionally because we tend to judge a book by its cover. It's part of the
right,
marketing of Sherry Baby, and so Sherry Baby is not a children's book by any means. The only thing childlike about Sherry Baby is that the story is being told by Sherry Baby, who is this precocious little girl, as you say. But the story takes place in a very specific time, and so it was a special time in my life. A lot we write from what we know, right? It's not a memoir, but there's a lot of autobiographical stuff in there. There's a lot of, in there, a lot of stories, that align very closely to my life, my journey. That was a special time in Jamaica, and I wanted to write about that period and write about that time and write about it in a way that had never been done before because that is just how I am.
right.
And it worked. It worked.
It definitely did. It definitely did because when I read parts of it, and I have to tell you, the patois mixed with the English,
Yes,
it
yes,
was it
yes.
was superb. It was
Ooh.
brilliant. I
Can we
got
talk about that? Can we talk about? There's a glossary in the book. Folks should know that there's a glossary,
yeah,
and there's a glossary there because we're looking to educate and inform and to spread and enhance an understanding of a
right,
language that is really oral. Right? We talk it, we chat it, we can chat about it, but it was a nod to Miss Lou and paying homage to her. She
right,
was a mentor of mine, and she gave me the power of language and basically, taught me how important language was to a people to tell their story. And so I wanted to write this in paying homage to her and to the Zora Neale Hurstons and the Alice Walkers and the Toni Morrisons of the world, because we're writing in the language of the people. And so that's what this is. So the patois is front and center in Sherry Baby, but there's a glossary there for you if you need some help in pronouncing and understanding what a word means. Yes.
it was definitely good. And as you know, it has one of the top the world's 50 world's greatest short stories. I saw that on Prime.
Yes.
I was actually saw.
Listen,
Listen,
I'm right there. Listen, like I said, right, Sandy, I just won also since we're taking my winning. On February 8th,
yes,
it's a poor frog that doesn't praise its own pond. I'm praising my pond
of course
since
you
you
have
went to winning.
right.
On February 8th, I won the What's Your Story Jamaica Storytelling
Oh,
Contest at Half Moon in Jamaica. Yes, I went there and I walked away with that and kudos to everyone who participated in that contest. They were good, but I was just better and
right.
got the votes of the judge because my story, I am such a good storyteller, and the
Hmm.
story was such a profound story. Of course, the universe lined it up for me that way. And then my book was published, released on a month later, March.
Right.
You can't make it up. It's
You
just
can't make it up.
alignment, blessings.
Yeah.
And that's what we say, amen and amen and amen.
It was definitely, I mean, you spoke about your writing and I read parts of it as I said, and it really did move me because the characters jumped out at me. The one that
Yeah.
I really liked was Aunt Donna.
Antonella, you know,
I felt like,
people love
okay,
Auntie Donna. They do, because she's terrible, not true.
right? This could
Good,
be Sandy. Good,
but
good, good woman.
the complexity of the characters are things that some of the feedback that I've been receiving, and I'm so honored when people get it. Like immediately we say Auntie Donna. Anybody listening now, who've read Sherry Baby, and you say Auntie Donna, they're gonna be busting out laughing because
Right,
that's what Auntie Donna is gonna make you do first and foremost, right? She's set up to be that character in the book. But she plays such an interesting role, though, right?
right,
The juxtaposition between her and the mother of the protagonist, Sherry Baby. But we won't say too much because you're still
right.
reading,
It's
and
so
folks are
good.
reading, and we
But
want you to
you
read.
know what I mean?
Yes,
I'm a writer myself, so I
I
had to
know.
jump in it. I had to jump in it because I love when characters come across the pages very seamless.
Yes, Yes,
seemed
yes,
not
yes,
forced, and I could
yes,
feel that. So I was
yes,
able to go, yeah, I like this. I
yeah,
liked it because
yeah.
definitely to me, character drives a story, and
Well,
character is what makes the story interesting. Now,
mm,
was it a difficult position or thing for you to sit down and write? Because a lot of writers, me, I have to get into like a zen. I have to, my house has to be clean, everything. I have to sit down and clear my head. What is it like for you when you start to write, Sharon? Like, do
well,
you have to have like,
well,
a
there's
candle
different.
going?
Are you talking about this right? Because I write. So this writing in particular
Yeah.
took place during COVID.
Oh,
This
really?
story came to me during COVID. Yeah. So it was written during COVID.
Yeah.
As a result of a workshop that I was in and a character that I presented in a prompt that I had. And my instructor was Nicole Dennis Ben, the award-winning Nicole Dennis Ben, whose book Patsy I did the audio narration for. She was doing this workshop, and she asked who was the little girl in the corner who
Right.
peed on herself. And my cohorts, I said, "Oh, it's just Sherry Baby." And they're like, "How about you write a point of view from Sherry Baby, Sharon?" They challenged me. And if you
Yeah.
know anything about Sharon Gordon, you challenge her, she's gonna take you up on the offer. And so I took the challenge, not knowing it would wind up with what we have here now, published in paperback, available on Kindle, and also in audiobook. The audiobook is ready, Sandy. Should be up on Audible any day now. It's in the system.
Right.
We'll be announcing that. But yes, it took a year of me in COVID locked away, um, and them recognizing her and me meeting the moment, and set out to do this thing that I've wanted to do for many, many years. Because having been a journalist and an entertainment writer and an absolute, stalwart
Right.
journalist for so many years, I wrote for the Glean, as you know. I had a column, the whole nine. I have been wanting to tell these stories. I am a storyteller, but it's
Mhm.
always been in the oral tradition, as I learned from Miss Lou
Right.
and others. What I've done now is to take all of that, Sandy, and create in it a story that I felt was like a time capsule. It's
Right.
um
It
it's taking
definitely is. It definitely is because the thing is, it touches on political issues. It has like political themes,
yes,
social and financial themes, aspects,
oh yeah,
domestic violence, sexual and as well as physical abuse. And so, being plot in Independence, Jamaica, 1962, I think it would definitely was right for all of these things to come about, right?
and that's exactly what we're looking at in the story. Because so Jamaica became independent in the year Sherry Baby was born.
Right.
And so the story picks up 69 and ends in 75. And spoiler alert, Sherry Baby's not tied up in a bow. So for
Right.
those who are, I'm just letting you know, spoiler alert, it's not tied up in a bow.
No,
Okay,
for sure.
so because life isn't tied
Yeah.
up in a bow, you know? And so what happens is she is really like a laser looking specifically, the story is taking place. I am placing you, the reader, in Jamaica, 1979, 1969 to 1975. And that
Mhm.
time period, I had to really go deep to bring the feel of it, because like you say, I had to use not only the development of the characters, but the dialogue has to
Right.
drive, especially me taking on the challenge of relying heavily on dialect, on patois. I had to come proper, and then to recall a time is one thing, but to recall it with a lot of authenticity is another thing. And I
Right.
think that that's part of what makes Cherry Baby work, is that this was a blessing, this was divine. So I know that I got, the spiritual help that was needed to bring these characters to life, because really they are alive. I mean, I
Yeah.
have people who say to me, but the thing about it is they were inspired by live people that I know. A lot of them
That
were.
was what I was gonna ask you. Like who?
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah. Definitely inspired
Sure.
by a lot of
That,
people. I pay homage to a lot of people in Cherry Baby.
yeah.
A lot of people get homage.
Yeah.
It's a composites. A lot of the characters are composites of people I know, and
Right.
composites of characters that I envision and composites of how I would see a person that I loved or had, like, oh my God, about how I
Right.
would develop them. You're a writer, you get that. And so
Yeah.
it was imagination and allowing imagination to play, right?
Right.
And I was able to play, but keep it within the realm of authenticity so that my readers could connect and identify and relate with these characters and not have them be over the top. And that's the
Right.
balance that I think I was successful in
I
finding that. And that's why
definitely think
readers
so.
are
Yeah.
reacting. They are.
I definitely think so because even the characters that you might not be too fond of, and as I said, I will not give out,
Saw that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
spoiler,
You
but
see how I deal with them.
you still have nothing but respect the
Yeah.
way how you wrote.
And that is it, Sandy. And so, Sandy, you're tapping into something that I really hope folks who are read it, read Sherry Baby. Sherry Baby is not, she is a simple story, but she's a complex story. And like Shakespeare, you will read her several times to catch, like the way you got to go see Sinners at least 4 times to get it. Yeah. Because you see, what you're touching on is so, so, so timely and so on it because even the characters I don't like as I am
Mhm.
writing them, and someone asked me that, how do you write a character like Reverend Mr. Champion? I'm like, you write it.
You're
You
right.
you feel because your readers are gonna know if you're BSing or not. Your
Yes.
readers you're gonna take them off the page. If that
Yeah.
character is not authentic to who I said or she set him up to be, my readers are gonna jump. They're gonna
Yeah.
jump ship. They're gonna be like, nah, mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
The thing
Exactly.
about it is, as despicable as
This
characters
person,
are,
this
is as
character,
respectful as I have to be. I
exactly.
have to give them that they're
Yeah.
human, right? I
Yes.
have to treat and I have to treat my readers like they're intelligent readers. I can't just slabberdash, as my mother would say, the thing. I have to take time with the thing. You see?
Right.
So yeah.
I have to write that word down.
Trying to get
I
it
never heard of
slabberdash.
slabber.
Slabberdash.
Dash.
Slabberdash. Slabberdash. Good 3 word that. Slabberdash.
It's like three or
Right?
four words.
Without the bother, slabberdash the thing. But it's true. You understood immediately what I meant when I said it because, and that's the power of patois, and that's the power of this language that we have that is
Right.
so colorful. I wanted to capture that unique way in which we because it is a love story for us as well, how
Yes.
we speak, how we express, and what it is in that expression that makes us who we are and how we are and how we be. The story is universal, of course, but
Right.
I am writing from the point of view of a Jamaican and a child that was growing up in Jamaica in a specific time.
Right.
She
And
saw
so
it.
with that being said, Sharon, what do you want folks to walk away with when once they've read your book? What is the specific feeling that you want them to walk away with once they finish reading Sherry Baby and come back to you and say, "Hey, Sharon, I have questions, but what is it that you want them to feel? How
Well,
do you want them to feel?"
well. So I'm going to answer your questions. I first must humbly say that how dare me even think that I have a right to have people having feelings, right? But
Right.
I'm humbled if they do. And
Yeah.
if my book should evoke that in them, that is an honor. Then I would have done my job. I would have done that which I set out to do as a creative,
Right.
right? We all want people to love our work, Sandy. We all want the praise. We all, to say other than is to be disingenuous, right? So we want the praise. You want people to love it. You want people to say, Sharon, I love the book. You want people to say, oh my God, Sherry Baby is this, Sherry Baby is that. And guess what, Sandy?
Yeah.
With all due respect, it's what has been happening. And I'm so humbled by it
Yeah.
because I take nothing for granted. All I did was listen, pay attention, and told a story that I wanted to tell, a story I wanted to read with my people. I wanted to see me and my community in a story. We have stories too. We have good, proper stories too. And
Right.
so I was true to that mission, and I think because of that, I am now getting what you said. What do I want? I'm getting exactly that. The
Right.
positive feedback, the messages, the nuances. When you say to me that when you could point that out, it tells me that you're reading with intention. That
Yeah.
I treat even my villains with respect. Then you get it because that's exactly what The
Right.
intention was and is to do, because characters are characters, and the way you develop characters as an author is as a writer is so, especially in a situation like this, is you have to find that balance. Like I said,
Right.
I'm not writing just for Jamaicans, but I know my people will know if that is some BS cracking for foolishness.
Exactly.
And I can't do that. To thine own self be true. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I had
Right.
to write. I had to go deep and examine and put that out there. Now, some
Yes.
people might not like that, and that's okay. They don't
Yes.
want to see that side of that's good. No, sweet. Change the
Yes.
channel. You don't have to read it. What I'm
Right.
saying though, I had to keep it authentic and true,
Right.
and
And
that's
that's
what others are picking up on.
that's and that exactly jumps out. And you made a quote just now that is mine, that I always say, to thine own self be true. And
Be true. Yes.
I walk
Yes.
with that and try to live my life like that. And I'm
Yes.
so appreciative that you have just said that.
Oh
And
yes.
the other
Yes.
thing that I want to double check is with you, you've had some big names who actually gave you props in this book. You've got folks like Chris Clemens.
You read, huh? You've
And
been
also,
reading, girl.
I'm a reader. You can't put nothing. No author is gonna come here with me.
Yes, I don't put that in front of me. You gonna read it?
No, I love authors. I love
Good.
writers
I
because
love
I
that.
know what
I
it
love
is like when you have these characters in your head and you feel like, so it's like me meeting another Sandy going, yes, I have another friend. Because I know what it is like. You have to write.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
you have Miss Deborah. She actually did a play. I forgot what the name of it is. And
There's
she
a few
actually
of them. Jamaica Farewell,
make
What
a
Fell Out
film.
of
I
My
saw
Good
that.
Cocktails.
Yes,
Yeah.
and she's a
Hmm.
big playwright and a big. And I saw her in New York a few years back, and I wanted to ask
Hmm.
you, with this book, any intentions of perhaps making it into a play, make it
Absolutely.
into
Absolutely. We're working on my one woman play. It'll
that?
be one woman play will be you'll get excerpts from Sherry Baby, and you'll
Yes.
get other excerpts from other pieces and unpublished work. And I'm really, I'll be working with Deborah on that. We yeah, that's coming. That's absolutely in the works.
So I had to
Absolutely.
ask. I had
Yes.
to
Yes.
ask because
In the
when
works.
you start these things, it never dies if you have a great intention for it. Your intention is
Absolutely.
amazing. So you
Thank
have to follow. Don't lead, you follow where it is that it's leading you, and you're definitely following that. So we're so
you.
appreciative.
Absolutely. Everything is done with intention, my
Everything
sister.
is done
Everything.
with intention.
Abs-
I think when
yes.
you, as I stated, when you don't have intentions, so even with your through your villains, I could see that you're not being disrespectful, you're being kind, you're being authentic. That's the most important thing. You're being
Yes.
authentic as an author. Kudos to
Yes.
you. Now,
Thank
I know you've got, as I said, I keep every time I go to Facebook or Instagram, I see all over the place. You've got something big in Florida tomorrow. You've got some.
tomorrow. Oh my gosh. This time tomorrow we would have just wrapped. Or
Oh my,
probably not.
right,
We have our big launch in Florida tomorrow. It is the third stop on our Sherry Baby book tour, and it's
right.
happening in Florida. And I'm excited to be at the Island Space Caribbean Museum tomorrow with
Okay.
all the family. Commissioner Eddie Edwards, Carson Eddie Edwards, will be moderating and hosting me. So I'm very happy to be there under his auspices, and David Muir and Khalid Thompson and Mandy and Stephanie and everybody down there at Island Space Museum, and all the sponsors, all my sponsors. I'm talking
Right.
just everybody who has made this possible. I can't thank you enough. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
That's going to be so amazing. And you were just in New York recently as well, too, right?
Mm-hmm. We
So,
did our first launch,
yeah,
I'm sorry, April 24th in
yeah,
Brooklyn. And then
okay.
we did a meet and greet at VP, both extremely successful. Then we're
I saw
doing
that.
this now tomorrow. And then I am in Queens as part of the Right Time Foundation. They're doing a night of book signing and music, I believe, with True Tribute Band featuring me as a featured author. And
Nice.
then I'm going to be at the Schomburg on June 14th. I'm actually
Oh, wow.
performing as part of the Jump Up Jamboree, which is a role I play as part of the Picnic Players, where we channel Miss Lou and we do like a ring ding review,
Right.
and we will be doing that at the Jump Up Jamboree at the Schomburg. Their kickoff on June 14th, and then I'm also presenting on a panel with Sherry Baby as an author, and then I'm in Toronto on the 26th
Nice.
for
You're 26th.
the launch of June. Please write that down, June
We'll
26th.
be
For the
there.
launch.
Will be
I stay busy. I am busy. We are on the road. We're doing this. We're
right.
absolutely doing this. And if you
I,
want us in your town, please, send me a note. Go to either on Instagram at I am Sharon Gordon, follow me, or go to my website, IamSharonGordon.com, and subscribe and just send me a note. IamSharonGordon.com. It's kind of easy.
definitely. And the next place and part I'm gonna see, I'm quite sure, is in Los Angeles somewhere. Going, hey Sandy, like, hey, let's.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Next
You're gonna
steps.
go on
All
your
next
phone and
steps.
go,
All
Sandy, can I come? But when you're here June
next
26th, I will be there for
Oh,
sure.
absolutely. Please. We're going to be at the downtown. It's going to be, no, it's a different booklist bookstore. A
Oh, I.
different booklist bookstore downtown Toronto. Am I right?
Mhm.
That's where we're going to be from on the 26th, Thursday the 26th, from 6 until 8. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know
So
that place
there's
very
a lot
well.
going on.
Very
Yes,
well.
yes,
Very good.
yes.
Very good with having diverse authors, having meaningful conversations. Whenever you go
Absolutely.
there, it's going to be a great time for you. So you're in
That's
very
what
good.
I hear. That's what I hear. I hear it's the right space. I want to shout out to Mitzi, Allen, from Hammer Films, and
Yes,
they're the ones that they're hosting me on
right.
the 26th. I'm really excited about that. Sister Alana, and just everybody who's working on that project. I'm just kind of excited. I'm excited. It's a good time.
Definitely.
A good time.
It's a good time. And I
Yeah,
always say you're so you're basically living out of a suitcase and you're
I
staying
do.
busy,
I
right?
do.
But
I
that's
do. I
good.
live out of several suitcases at the,
Yeah,
like, yeah, yeah, yeah. You gotta know how to move it
that is
around,
right.
around.
Definitely. Well, it's been nothing but a pleasure. So speaking to you, Sharon. So, any last words for young women, especially who are in this space, who are wishing to, hoping to, dreaming to become an author, or perhaps work in media, such as yourself and I? Any last words? Any words of encouragement, whether it be men or women, but especially to the young ladies? What do you have to say?
I got so much things to say right now.
She's singing nice.
But I tell you something. There is a lot to be said, but what I'll
Yeah,
say is keep your head to the sky,
yeah,
right? Like really keep your head when all else around you is losing theirs. You keep your head, because my grandmother told me something from when I was a little girl. She said, "Don't watch the noise in the marketplace.
yes.
Just check for your correct change.
Wow.
Check for your correct change right
Yeah.
now in life. There's a lot of noise in the marketplace. A lot. Don't
Mm-hmm.
watch. Check for your correct change. Keep your head, and all will be well. Follow your dreams. If
Right.
you're working and it's painful and you don't like it, then that's work. But if you're
Yeah.
living and you're enjoying it, then you're doing your passion, you're doing what you love, and that will never be work any day of the week. So go do
Exactly.
what you love and what's a passion. Follow your dreams. That's what it's all about. I live my dreams every single day. Every single day, I live my dreams. Right now, I'm talking to Sandy. Here I am. You,
I'm
you,
mine. Trust me. Right back at you, Sharon.
yeah,
It's
y'all
a
have a good one.
you
Hmm.
you are an amazing woman. I just have to
Thank
tell you
you.
that it's always
Thank
been a pleasure. I've known you for a little while, and especially we
you.
worked together recently with our ramen,
Oh yeah,
gotten to
yeah, 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 yeah.
and
Hmm.
it's just been nothing but the utmost of respect and
Thank,
love.
thank you.
Praise to you and wishing you all the best. And when you come to Toronto, I will definitely be here June 26th to see
Yes.
the different book list. And make sure that you go and grab her book
Yes,
because
Amazon.com. Amazon.com. Mm.
Amazon.com. Make sure you grab it from Amazon. Make sure you can grab it as well in Kindle so you don't even have to grab a book. You
Yes.
can read it on as
And
I
the
did.
audio is coming any day. And guess what, Sandy? Folks can
What?
demand a book in any bookstore, any library. We're
Yes,
part of the system. So you just go in and you just ask them for Sherry Baby, Sheribaby, by
yes.
Sharon Gordon. And it's spelled the same way it sounds, Sharon Gordon. And
And
that's
then
it,
definitely
Sherry Baby.
that's it.
And that's it. And they'll order it and they'll get it for you. It's in their system. Okay.
Amazing. I love that. I love that so much. So, Sharon, thank you so very much. Good luck tomorrow. Have fun for me
Yeah. We'll be
in Florida.
streaming. We'll be streaming. We'll be streaming.
Oh,
So
I'll definitely see
tomorrow,
that
catch us tomorrow. We'll be streaming, Sandy. We promise.
for
We'll be
sure.
streaming.
So you'll be on, so they can watch it on your
I
Facebook,
am Sharon,
Instagram.
I am Sharon Gordon. We're
Perfect.
definitely gonna be
Amazing.
streaming. Definitely gonna be streaming. Thank you
Definitely
so
gotta
much.
be. Oh, you're welcome, honey. Good luck with everything. Bye. Take care. I'll see you. Okay.
SharonGordon.com. Don't forget.
I
All
am
right.
sure for sure. Make sure you check out her book, guys, and make sure you go
Yes.
watch and see what she's up to because Sharon Gordon is, as I said, a stellar in this business. And we're just so excited that she actually stopped by. And, I'm stoked. I love authors. Anybody that can put a pen and paper together and write something and make characters jump off the page, which is exactly what she did, they're just okay in my book. And I'm just telling you that it's just been a great honor for me to actually speak to her today because I've loved this woman for quite some time. And another thing that I love, I just wanted to talk about this, is that we've been doing so well on this show. Thank you so very much. We will now be on Mondays, Wednesdays, 9 p.m., and as well on Saturday at 6 p.m. So I'll be here on Saturday at 6 p.m. And another great news that I have is that as of Saturday, this Saturday morning, I will be on the big station, Roadblock Radio, from 6 until 8 a.m. in the morning on Saturday. Yes, the Daily Grind has moved to radio as well. So you can catch me, Roadblock Radio, 6 until 8 a.m. in the morning. Roadblock Radio, it goes all through the tri state area, all in the Caribbean, all over Florida. And it's me, Sandy Daly, with you. So I wanted to show you a couple of things before we actually leave, because as I said, we've been having a great time here. So here's a little reel off the show thus far. We actually spoke to folks. We just spoke to Sharon Gordon. We spoke to Ryan Singing in France. We spoke to D'Angel, a lot of people. So here they are, and I'll say my goodbyes for now. Take care, guys. But here is the video.